Hello and greetings, fellow StarCrafters. Welcome back to game number 2 between the red Protoss player oGs MC and the blue Terran player e.g. Puma. This is PGL Milncraft from ProGamingLeagues.com. Now, I was really impressed last game, wow, with Puma's play. I did not think after that first one failed, given the supply difference, that he was going to have any shot whatsoever with the second round. But you know what? It just shows you, I mean, how important I guess the combats are, and combats can really go either way, and he was just able to take out all those zealots and deal lots of damage to those immortals, and it proved to be the victor in the end. Now, this map is Terminus RE. It's a very, very large map with basically 3 expansions. You get this expansion right here with a full 8 mineral patches and 2 gases, and then this little half expansion, which is only 5 minerals, 1 gas, and then rocks, which lead to this expansion. But it's fairly easy to defend both your expansions from this little area right here. If you need to, you can move your forces up and kind of defend up here. Very macro-oriented map. I doubt we'll be seeing any sort of all-in like we did on the previous map, just because it's so long of a distance to walk. Especially for the Terran player. It's relatively easy for the Protoss to 4-gate on this map, although the ramp is fairly small, so that makes that a little bit more difficult. But 4-gates can also be made a lot more fun by sneaking pylons here. And then what you do is you run your stalkers up if there's no wall. Unfortunately, there's a wall here, but you run your stalkers up, and then you warp zealots in up here. Or sometimes you can just hallucinate, and hallucinate Phoenix up to the top, and then just warp zealots in up top, and then just move in and start killing. But of course, because Protoss don't have any travel time, they can 4-gate just as easily on this map as any other map. It makes it a little bit harder to do any sort of, like, I guess, Colossus Rush, but that's a pretty rare build. I don't think I've seen that build too often. But we should be seeing some sort of macro-oriented play, I would guess. Looks like Puma is probably going to be doing a Marauder expansion. We'll know as soon as we see the tech lab. No, he's getting a Marine first. That is his first Marine, in fact. He decided to get the supply depot to prevent any sort of scouting from getting in. Wanted to make sure that the probe was not able to get in and see if there was gas or not. I would guess that MC would guess, which is actually correct, but a little bit confusing way to phrase it. That it looks like he is getting, he's getting a reactor actually. Okay, so build's going to be a little different than I thought. It's possible and probably likely he's still expanding out of this, but MC would probably guess that he's going for a 1 racks fast expand, and in fact MC is probably going for the same build he did last time, a 1 gateway expand. A build which is a lot less dangerous on this map than it is on Zelmagar Caverns. Puma has already started his expansion, as a matter of fact. Oh, there it is. He's already started his expansion very intelligently. He's placed it down here so that if a probe or zealot were to run up to the top, they would not be able to spot it. The reactor beat is going to be fairly safe from 3-gate Stargate builds. 3-gate Stargate all-ins. Which MC is not going for, as you can tell, because he doesn't have any gas, and Void Rays are 150 gas, they're quite expensive. He will be getting the Nexus very quickly, and he is setting out the Stalker. Where's the Zealot? Did he eschew the Zealot? He might have eschewed the Zealot. Alright, so it looks like he's just going for a Stalker there. So he'll probably poke up with the Stalker, silly the bunker, decide he's not going to engage, and actually, MC makes this build look pretty much the same as the previous build, as based on... Well, Puma's. Puma makes it look the same. Because based on how it looked in the previous game, there was the bunker, the reactor barracks, and, you know, MC can't see anything else, right? MC can only see the barracks. So he might be worried about a similar build coming into Raven All-In, which I would say is a little bit easier to do than the 1-1-1 All-In, as it's a little bit later, so the travel time matters just a little bit less. But MC is actually choosing not to get a robotics. He sees through it. Oh no, he's getting robotics right there. So he does not see through the ploy. He potentially wants to be careful, and in fact he's getting an extra gateway on top of what he had before. I believe, was MC just on 3 gateways the whole time? He might have gotten up to a 4th gateway. I don't remember quite exactly how many gateways he had. But he is getting 4 gateways right now. He wants to make sure he doesn't lose that same build. He probably thinks that he's a better player than Puma, and he probably is actually. So he wants to make sure, I don't think he wants to lose this, probably what he considers a really cheesy build. Which it is cheesy, you know, it's an all-in. So theoretically, if all cheese is an all-in, then, you know, it is a cheesy build. And he does have that probe out there. Looks like Puma is going to spot that, probably send some Marines out and take care of that probe. Goodbye, poor probe. Meanwhile, MC's gateway is, or Nexus rather, not gateway, but his gateways are up as well. And wow, is that an important pylon if I've ever seen one. So if Puma destroys that pylon at this point in time, he wins the game. I think, just to kind of go off on a little bit of a tangent, nice placement of stalkers right here. I will say one relatively minor concern that I don't think happens a lot is, oh, nice scan, able to see basically everything right now. The only thing he doesn't see is the Nexus, but he can guess that it's there based on the lack of aggression from MC. But my one criticism is I don't think that pro players put enough redundant pylons. There should be really like 2 pylons here just to make sure that if you snipe this one pylon, it doesn't unpower all of your stuff. The other alternative to that is to place a couple of like gateways up here, powered by this pylon, maybe a gateway here, powered by that pylon, just to make sure you don't all of a sudden lose your pylon and then lose the game. Because I have seen that happen, and it's more dangerous in like Protoss versus Protoss matches, but sometimes with drops it can become pretty relevant. So it's just, you know, one minor criticism. I'm not saying, like, obviously I'm not saying that I'm a better player than them or anything like that, but looks like this is a nice observer from MC. Not quite able to spot that last starport. Not Stargate. It's a Terran version. And actually he's just going to leave that observer there. Nice spotting, able to see pretty much everything that's going on, and now able to spot the starport as well. So MC knows exactly what Puma has, and actually MC's got a very large supply lead now. I wonder if he is a 13 advantage in workers, which I think that's probably just a little high. It's probably because his Nexus is just a little bit faster than Puma's, especially in terms of getting out to the actual natural expansion. So a little bit better separation there. The income tabs were fairly similar. In fact, I think Puma's was higher. That was because he had 3 mules at once. That's normally not the case. You should have about 2 mules at once. As you can see, their income tabs are about the same. Puma's being just MC's rather, being just a little bit higher in gas. Twilight Council's coming out. He's actually going for Blink Stalkers. It's a fairly interesting build as a result of just because I would say Blink Stalkers are just a little bit rarer. I think MC is probably going to try to Blink Stalk up into the main and deal some damage up here, or possibly not though, because Puma looks like Puma might be moving out now. Most likely I would say that this push out is probably just aiming to take the watchtowers and clear them of any probes or anything sitting there, just to make sure he has control of it. Also provides a little bit of protection for his factory as it moves across. Doesn't want that to be taken out randomly. As, you know, I mean, it's not super worthwhile. That's why he's floating and scouting with it. But he wants to be able to keep it alive as much as possible. There's no reason not to. And actually, Puma is, in fact, going to be dropping. Is he going to be doing a... It looks like he's going to be doing a double drop, actually. So this one's going to be going west and able to dodge that observer there, whereas not actually loading up another one. But Blink Stalkers are going to be incredibly effective. I wonder if that's possible why he was going for Blink Stalkers, just to deal with drops now, because what you can do, obviously, with Blink Stalkers, and really MC, though, if he's worried about drops, you should be splitting up his Stalkers just a little bit. He does not see that quite yet. These Marines will get the pylon, they'll get the probe, and then they'll probably get away. Looks like a little bit of engagement up front here as these Stalkers blink down, but MC's going to turn around pretty quickly as soon as he sees the drop here. Actually, he realizes he had enough forces. Nope, he is sending everything back. But Blink Stalker's able to nicely target fire that medevac. And wow, nice control from MC, barely able to keep that Stalker alive. Wow, does not lose a single Stalker in that engagement. Great job on part of MC. And he is now able to secure his third. Puma's actually already had his third, though, so MC might be pushing in and can do some real damage here. I think there's only, still only 1 bunker, 2 more bunkers on the way, however. 5 medevacs is going to be very effective for able to heal up 6 medevacs. Wow. And able to heal up forces, and Puma realizes this is coming, so he's building more supply depots. This will split up the Zealots as their charge kind of comes through. It'll have to filter through these. It'll allow them to group up, especially with the Marauders slow. Oh, but the Blink Stalkers, nice job from MC. Just as I was talking about, able to blink up, deal a lot of damage, and now Puma has to worry about how to deal with this because he doesn't want the Zealots moving in. Able to take out both of the barracks, losing 2 Stalkers. Looks like just 2 Stalkers. Meanwhile, the Zealots are moving in. The Blink Stalkers target firing the medevacs. However, the entire army is moving up. MC not quite handling that perfectly. Able to snipe those 2 barracks was huge. They are being rebuilt now. and a scan able to take out that observer that'll prevent any more blink stalker shenanigans, at least in the near future. And Puma still has a lot of SCVs. Looks like he pulled SCVs actually from both bases to be able to hold that. Looks like Puma's going to retaliate with a drop right now, as he knows that MC's forces are gone. Now he's going to be heading into the, now through the rocks area into the third. The third is a planetary, and the planetary will basically prevent any sort of more aggression coming through. And does he just have a sixth sense? Or for the drop? I mean, it's not that big of a drop, so he's probably not even if he knew magically that that was coming. It's possible that he thinks that Puma picked up everything and went for a massive base trade, which he does have the medevac power to do. And that might be why he's sending everything back, or maybe he just didn't think this attack would do very well. And it probably wouldn't have, to be perfectly honest, because if the army's right here and the planetary fortress is right here, dealing a lot of damage to the zealots, there's really not much that MC can do there. So it was a good call on Puma's part, actually. And let's see how this drop does. Drop has not actually... Oh, no, he has. With the scan, he was able to spot those forces in there. So he puts the medevac off to the side, able to use it later. MC still most likely has not spotted that drop. I don't think... Yeah, he did not have any observers there. So unless he's just like Captain Amazing and able to recognize that a drop is coming, nothing really is able to happen here.